Hey, what's up? My name is J.M. Chaley and welcome to my channel. This week I want to tackle writer's block. That's a big one. And right from the get-go I want to tell you, there's no cure for it. There's no magic pill that you can take. There's no method. You're not going to watch this video and never have writer's block ever again. But what I want to share is the methods that I use to overcome writer's block when I have it. So we've all been there. Maybe we're laying in bed thinking, maybe we're in the shower, maybe we're driving, and we're thinking about our story, and we think, I want to write. I want to get home and I want to write. And then you get to the place where you can write, and you just kind of peter out. We've all been there. Now, I hate the expression, there's no such thing as writer's block. There's no such thing as writer's block. You just don't want to write. I don't like that. Of course we want to write. There's just something missing. And I think that thing that's missing is that we're not in the zone, right? You know when you're in the zone. Your keyboard, your fingers are flying all over the keyboard. You're in it. And to go from kind of ground zero to that place, sometimes you need a bump. You need to bridge that gap somehow. And a lot of times you can't get in the zone until you actually start writing. So that's the catch-22. So without further ado, let me just get into it. The stuff I do, it's going to be basically very simple stuff. Almost too simple, but I got to tell you, it works. At least for me. So the first thing I do is carve out time. So for me, I'm married, I have a kid, I have a full-time job, right? I can't just drop what I'm doing any old time and place and just dig into writing. I need to carve off time. That's setting expectations for the people that are around me. If they're my family or friends or whoever, and say, hey, I'm going to write from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. or whatever. Whenever I'm available in my own life and schedule, that I can carve off some time. Now I've kind of set that aside, and what I do with it is up to me. Now, I'll admit to you right off the bat, a lot of times I'll take that writing block when I should be writing and browse social media and YouTube and play video games or whatever, and I just piss it away. That happens because carving off time is only the first part of my little method. So the second thing I do, and this is going to sound painfully obvious, almost silly, but really you need to do it, is during that allocated time, you need to sit at your keyboard, wherever you're typing. I don't know if it's a laptop or a full-size computer with a keyboard or a typewriter, whatever it is that you write on, you need to be on it. Now, if you want to check your social media first, if you want to goof around a little bit, watch a YouTube video, right? If you're like me, I tee up a bunch of tabs on YouTube. I'm going to watch these later. Watch a couple of YouTube videos, whatever. That's okay. The big part about overcoming writer's block is cutting yourself some slack. Because the minute you start beating yourself up, and getting down on yourself because you should be writing, then you've kind of lost the fight, right? You've gotten into the slump. You've let yourself go into the slump. You've beaten yourself down into the slump, actually. You need to be okay with the idea that you can still fuck off and get to writing. It's okay. But you want to salvage some of your little block that you've set aside, right? So that's where we come to the third thing that I do. So the third thing that you do is, this is going to sound silly, open your manuscript. I know. You have it open. Now, I'm not saying, you're still not writing, by the way. All you do is open it. I don't know if you open up Scrivener, NovelPad, Microsoft Word, OneNote, whatever it is, you open it up and it's there. And you know what? You can minimize it and say, yeah, I'm going to go back to Solitaire or eating Doritos or whatever. Well, no, actually, you probably shouldn't leave your desk. Let yourself kind of stay at that desk. Well, I guess you could eat Doritos at your desk. Whatever. You can minimize it. Hey, if you dive into your manuscript after opening it, problem solved. You've mission accomplished. But if you still have that, I'm not there yet, it's okay. Cut yourself some slack. Minimize it. A lot of times when I try to get myself into that zone, I equate it with me when I'm at a pool or going to the beach. I'm not a run into the water kind of guy. I'm not a jump into the water kind of guy. I make it harder than it has to be and painful as it can be by stepping in one step at a time and letting my body get used to the temperature of the water before going in deeper. So I'm very much not a open up the manuscript, get to work, start writing kind of guy. I have to kind of torture myself a little bit. But again, that's okay. We need to cut ourselves some slack. What's going to happen with your manuscript minimized at the bottom of your toolbar? It's going to nag at you. Maybe not that same day. Maybe the next day when you carve off some time. Or the day after that. You're going to have that little thing minimized right on your toolbar. You're staring at it, and it's staring back at you, and it's judging you, and it's saying, hey, you can't ignore me forever. And maybe it lingers out there just long enough for you to maximize the screen, just to take a look at it. Maybe you want to read where you're left off, the last time you wrote something. What was the last paragraph you wrote? Maybe you found something. As soon as you open it up, oh, wait a minute, there's a typo I can fix. Or you know what, I could use a stronger verb here. And before you know it, boom, you're writing. But having that little manuscript minimized and nagging you like a pain in the ass is honestly a big deal. I can't tell you how many times I've sat at the computer and just been like, ugh, I want to write, but I just don't want to. I can't get motivated, And the difference between double-clicking on my manuscript and not is massive. Big, big difference. So honestly, these tips are really just about getting yourself, easing into it. Obviously, if we could just dive in and start writing, then we wouldn't need to overcome writer's block. If you need a little nudge and a little nudge and a little nudge, these 3 steps they work well for me. Carving off time, getting yourself on that keyboard, and just opening up your manuscript. And when you have those 3 ingredients, hopefully you're not being disturbed in your little I'm writing bubble. You've told your family and friends to leave you alone. And believe me, I know what it's like. My teenage son is grown, so I don't get a lot of daddy, that kind of stuff. But I know how it can be when you're a parent and you're writing and suddenly it's like, Mom, Dad, that stuff happens. But if there's a way that you can insulate yourself, carve off a little bit of time, sit at your keyboard, have that manuscript open, nagging you and judging you, then eventually you're going to click it and you'll be reading through it and you'll be hooked. You hook yourself. And remember, the other half of writing block is cutting yourself some slack. If you end up fucking off or not writing or doing something else, you know what? Maybe you'll get it next day. You'll get it tomorrow or the day after that. It's okay. When you really start getting down on yourself, when you really start beating yourself up, you're going to wind up in a slump and it's going to be even harder to get back into it. So give yourself a pass. Okay, I didn't write today. You don't have to write every day. You didn't write when you wanted to. You meant to sit down. You carved off time and you still didn't write. That's okay. So that about wraps it up. 3 little tips on, trying to overcome writer's block. It's like wading into that pool, maybe, painful as it is. If you can't just dive right in, you might as well go down that ladder into the pool very, very slowly. That's okay. And I guess it might be 4 tips if you count the 4th tip of cutting yourself some slack. It's okay to miss a day. It's okay to fuck off. It's okay to sit down when you have every intention of writing and do something else. You'll get it the next time. It's okay. Your manuscript isn't going anywhere. If you like this video, please smush that like button, and as always, please subscribe. I post most Thursdays, and you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you do follow me on social media, you'll get the latest updates on my querying progress with A Flower in Hell, and the latest updates with my Kindle Vella series, The Unlife of Lisa Cooper. Links are all in the description, even where to buy this cool shirt on my merch store. So I hope to see you on social media. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.